Let's see here. So we've done Cancer and Leo. Now we're on to Virgo. Yesterday was Aries, Taurus, Gemini. So you can find those videos on my YouTube if you're looking for them in order. Also the Mercury retrograde video I posted. So let's take a look and see. Hi, Kayla. That's my girl. That's my massage therapist right there and another drum practitioner, Kayla. Yes, I'm going to shout you out every time you come on here, girl. We're out here. Okay. I wanted to shuffle these because they've been very thematic. I just want to prove it. Just want to prove how thematic they can be. Tension and money. Was I accurate at all for you? What's your sign, Kayla? All right, here we go. King of Cups, emotional intelligence. We've got the Devil card. What is vexing you? Anxiety, 10 of Wands. 7 of Cups, the Lovers. So basically, the theme, like I had been saying for Cancer and Leo, was that the theme for this Mercury retrograde seems to be stress and tension. It's all over. Jose is a Virgo. Okay, so this makes a lot more sense. There is a sense in here of tension, okay? Also overwhelm, and tell Jose that anxiety is killing him a little bit. We've got, she's saying Jose's a Virgo. We've got anxiety and overwhelm. So emotionally, this is a double whammy. So emotionally, we've got the 10 of Wands, which means I have a lot to do. And then we have the 7 of Cups, which is I have a lot to think about. Each and every one of these cups is filled with a different quality, you know, or archetype, which means there's not just one thing to focus on, but many. And then we have the anxiety, the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands has to do with like not being able to process information, or more than one thing is coming in at a time. I call that the batting cage, where it feels like one hit and then another. And you can't even take your eye off the ball to turn around and go, honey, did you see how great I did? Because here comes another one, right? We also have the 10 of Coins for black and white, contracts or making agreements, possibly legal matters. I see the Hangman for you for the first time in this is reading number 6. We're halfway there. It's the first time I've seen the Hangman, where this is feeling stuck energy. I know this is heavy and I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm seeing the Temperance card too. There's a lot of major cards in here. We've got, you know, the Temperance card. And if you notice here, the Temperance is looking in the mirror. So how much self-evaluation are you doing? We are harder on ourselves than we are on other people. For high performers, this is what gets us the results that we're looking for. But here's what also is true. Sometimes we don't get out of the mirror long enough to have a good perspective. So stop with the self-evaluation. I'm also seeing the Chariot card that may or may not have something to do with a vehicle, but it always has to do with intensity. Unlike the Justice or Judgment card, where we're feeling pressure, like a breaking point and consequence, the Chariot card has to do with you driving a vehicle or your life, and the two horses are going in opposite directions, and it takes a lot of intensity. It takes a lot of concentration to keep things in alignment. So that's having to do with alignment. If you notice here, these two guys are looking in opposite directions. So it takes the focus of the operator to maintain direction. So usually the Chariot card is telling us, what are you aligned toward and where are you headed? It can also, because it is Mercury retrograde, let's keep in mind that Mercury has the effery to do with vehicles, communication, travel, etc. So take it easy. Pay attention to the signals that are coming up on your car and don't take anything lightly. We do have the Devil card in here. I want to point out the Devil, the Lovers, the Chariot, the Empress, the Temperance, and the Hangman. Now, what all of this has to say is that major things are going on for you. With the Devil card, it usually says some bad habits of yours or someone else's is possibly affecting you. Now, bad habits can be anything from overeating to substances. Sometimes it has to do with substances. However, it's right next to the 10 of Wands. So that's the thing that's causing us anxiety, the thing that's vexing us. I say bad habits because it's an easy one to point at. However, where do you feel manipulated, vexed, maybe antagonized or annoyed, molested or bothered? Because that's definitely the devil card. Or are you thinking of things in the past that you haven't been able to let them go enough to move on? I do see the hangman, which is feeling as if you're stuck and there isn't much that you can do. And honestly, when that card comes up, there isn't much that you can do. Usually the hangman has to do with time, really, or a season, a month, 2 months, depending on how far into the season that you are. Now, the Lover's card is also intensity. I know a lot of readers go, dun, 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 the Lover's card pops up and they do a little cheer like, oh, it's the Lovers. However, if you look here, we've got the yin yang. So what is this about but balance? That there are two forces that are opposite coming together, and there is this archetypical tension. I do feel as if with the presence of the Nine of Cups, that there is some celebration and fun coming your way. The King of Cups for emotional intelligence. I would even like to suggest that those of you that are on the job hunt, there is an offering of a 2 of coins here, a job offer that's coming in. However, it's being influenced by the 3 of swords, which has to do with miscommunication. So if you're not getting information back, followed by the King of Wands, which tells us that you have skill sets, I would say to patience. Patience is the key here. So I just want to recap some of your major cards because these are archetypes. The Temperance card for balance, angelic interfluence. Feeling as if, you know, we're looking in the mirror and trying to find out what we did wrong or what we could do better. The Lover's card, archetypical tension. The Chariot card, again, focus. We have the Hanged Man, which is delay or feeling stuck. And the Devil for those bad habits. What is this about our habits that's keeping us from moving forward? Let's pull some cards. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, and then the Empress. Let's not forget the Empress. I knew there was one I was missing. So the Empress has to do with leadership. Male and female in my readings are inward versus outward action, nurturing versus active. So someone else may say male or female, like a mother. However, I think that simplifies the reading way too much, and it doesn't give you the availability of how much depth is available in looking at the archetype alone. The Empress is very protective. She's also very nurturing and very independent. If you're finding that you have to pull yourself away from other people's opinions right now, that is fully and thoroughly the Empress, because the Empress is independence. She knows herself. She's very protective of herself and others. And she's also very nurturing and very clear. She's a little bit of the Queen of Hearts, where she's like off with her head. If it has to be that way, it has to be that way. So there's kindness, but also very direct, and a woman that, or a person that knows themselves, because this is all about being alpha and independent. Let's pull some cards for you from the other deck here in order to get your moon reading. And my other client is blowing up my phone, so we gotta hurry. Here we go. Let's shuffle one more time. Girl, stop calling. I'll be right there. All right, here we go. 9 of Swords. The question I have for you is, are you getting any sleep? I'm seeing the 9 of Swords for insomnia, the Hermit card for wanting silence and wanting to be alone. I'm seeing a little bit of frustration in here, and there is consequence. However, I do feel as if there is some energy here. I'm getting ding, ding, dinged. I'll be right there, girl. All right, let's start over. So 9 of Swords. If you look here, this is overthinking. Again, this is not quite like the Temperance card, where the Temperance is in the mirror looking at ourselves and how we can do things better. The 9 of Swords is overthinking a little bit. So I wanted to ask, Virgo, how are you sleeping? And then there's a little bit of overthinking about our drama, our trauma, our karma, our consequences. This is the shadow side. So there's weight here still. I do see the Strength card, and the Strength card reminds us that we don't tame a lion with a stick, and not unless you want the relationship to last. It has to do with grace. So have a little grace with yourself. If you have to isolate a little bit, do so. This is the Hermit. Maybe you're already isolating. The Hermit tells us that what does a guru do when they go up on the mountain? What does the monk do? They go up on the mountain, and they isolate themselves, and they go into hamana, right? They're going to do their alms. But they don't go to be isolated. They go to learn. So in the isolation, in the silence, What is it that you're learning? If you're pulling back, what are you pulling back for? Just make sure that you don't make it a habit. None of us like an audience when we're processing. People will understand. If there's something that you're going through or that you're dealing with and you need to pull back, do so. That is bear. Pull back. You come back stronger from that. Beautiful hibernation. And we get our shit together. And it works out better because we take that time for ourselves. I do see the King of Cups in here for emotional intelligence. Trust yourself. Articulate. There's also something in here about the Three of Pentacles about being watched. Are you feeling as if everybody notices everything that you're doing? You know, or that you're worried about what others will say. I do feel as if there's a little bit of this where somebody's watching or you feel noticed. Not to the point of criticism or gossip though, but I do feel as if Virgo feels like they have an audience. I would like to suggest that if you feel that way, then you're probably right. You do. People are watching. Not to the negative, but I mean, it's just like you can't help but have an audience for whatever this is that's going on. Let's pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients and see what your focus is for this week. Decision. You have the Pendulum card. So this tells us, the pendulum is reminding us to make a decision and know ourselves, know what it is that we want, and go forward with what our decision is. So what's your decision? The pendulum swings and you need to decide. That's your card for this week is pendulum. Or the fact that things will swing from one position to the next. That no one situation will stay that way forever. My favorite quote, Maya Angelou, says, "Every storm runs out of rain eventually." I want to thank you for hanging out with me. To book your one-on-one, visit karmaondeck.com. There's some really exciting new things on my website. If you've been paying attention, we have the ceremonial drum, the drum making workshops, drum clearing, energy clearings. There's also, I've launched the meditation for the modern mystic, which is a 12-week comprehensive meditation course. Thank you for listening to me while I talk about it. I'm super excited. I think it's my finest work to date, and I'm super excited to share it with you. I wished I'd have had it. It's the culmination of 6 years of research and study and practice because I couldn't find what I was looking for, and so it took me that long to come to the bottom of it. And I've recorded all of it for you, so it's an online course. There is mantras, ohms, mudras, positioning, breath work, proprioception. There is plant medicine conversations, sacred sound conversations, meditation in motion. And I teach you about your behavior so that you can clear your own energy body without having to go into therapy or, well, not saying don't go to therapy, but just that you can delve into some of these behaviors in your chakras and you know what it is you need to change and shift through the understanding of the chakras, both what's balanced and what's out of balance. Anyways, check it out. Let me know what you think. I will catch you on the flip side tomorrow. We will be doing Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. Back at it, we are. Thank you so much. I'll catch you on the flip side.